إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وآله وصحبه أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Friday before last I spoke about the attributes or the qualities of the servants of the most gracious, Ibadur Rahman. So today, inshallah, I would like to continue my talk. I'm going to start at the beginning again. Let me read the first verse. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. You will notice while we are reading through these attributes or qualities that some of them relate to action, things they do, and some of them relate to things they say. So I hope, inshallah, we will try to copy or emulate as many of these, if not all, qualities and attributes, so that we deserve to be called the servants of the most gracious, Ibadur Rahman. The verse I read is verse 63, chapter 25, Al-Furqan, the criterion, and Al-Furqan is one of the names of the Quran. And the servants of Allah, most gracious, are those who walk on the earth in humility. And when the ignorant address them, they say peace. Two things, the way they walk and the way they talk. The word hawnan, or humility in English, does not mean you walk like a sick person. There's a very nice poet, Umar al-Khayyam, said, فَمْشِ الْهُوَيْنَ إِنَّ هَذَا الثَّرَى مِنْ أَعْيُنٍ سَاحِرَةِ الْإِحْوِرَارِ. Walk with humility on the earth, because this dust is made out of beautiful eyes. Imagine when someone dies and he becomes dust, you are walking on eyes. Think about it. So فَمْشِ الْهُوَيْنَ, walk with humility, be humble in the way you walk. Now I'm going to have a bit of cross-reference today, inshallah, to other verses in the Quran. So let me start with Surah Luqman, chapter 31. And Luqman was a very wise man. He was advising his son, and he said to his son, let me get the verse, وَلَا تُصَعِّرْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. So let me read the translation. Again, he's talking to his son. He loves his son, and he's advising him not to be arrogant, not to show off, but to walk with humility. I'm starting from verse 18. And swell not your cheek for pride at people. One of the diseases which used to attack camels, a disease which makes the camel, when he walks like that. So you talk to me and I'm ignoring you, put it this way. Okay? This is turning my cheek, or actually swell, they call it swell your cheek. It's an English proverb as well. So it's metaphorically, it means you are so arrogant, you are ignoring the person you are talking to because you think you are better than him. Put it this way. So, and swell not your cheek for pride at people, nor walk in insolence through the earth. For Allah does not love any arrogant boaster. So when you walk with humility. You do not swell your cheek at people. And remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love anyone who shows off. Put it this way. The word cheek in English too means arrogance or effrontery, with a slightly different shade added in Arabic. Effrontery from one in an inferior position to one in a superior position. The Arabic usage is wider and includes a smug self-satisfaction and a sense of lofty superiority. You know what made Satan expelled out of the mercy of Allah? Arrogance. He said to Allah, I am better than Adam. You created me from fire, you created him from clay. So that was the reason he been condemned and kicked out of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Al-Isra, beautiful verse, وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْإِسْرَاء, Bani Israel, or Al-Isra, journey by night, or children of Israel, chapter 17, verse 37. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is advising us, because he knows that Satan runs in our blood, and Satan will inspire us to be so arrogant like him. And then when we become arrogant like him, Allah will not like us. He will not love us anymore. And that's exactly what Iblis wants to achieve. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. This is verse 37, chapter 17. Do not walk on earth with insolence. إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. I want you to imagine, if you are, sometimes people think, either because of their wealth, or their knowledge, or the brand name they are wearing, or the car they are driving, they are above others. Even the knowledge, some people might think anyone who seeks knowledge for the sake of gain or fame or name or showing off is guilty of the worst of sins. No one will enter the garden who has an atom's weight of pride in his heart. من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. Anyone who has an atom weight of kibr, pride, in his heart, he will not enter paradise. He has to be purified before he will go there. This verse talks about two things, two challenges. If you are walking with insolence, if you are driving a car and you think this is the most beautiful, expensive car in the world, and you are showing off to everybody in your community or outside the community, remember two things. إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ. You will never be able to penetrate the earth. Can you? Have you seen people drilling the streets? They don't drill with their feet, do they? Do they stand up and no? إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِق. يَخْرُق means to make a hole. Al-ard is the earth. You will never be able to penetrate through the earth with your normal body or reach the heights of the mountains. وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. So if you are a very successful doctor and you think you have tremendous knowledge and you know how to operate, how to prescribe medicines, how to treat people, it's not because of you. It's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you think you are a very skilled man in whatever job or profession you do, it's not because of you, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have two beautiful stories in the Quran regarding this. Two beautiful stories. The first one is in Surah Al-Qasas, the narration, chapter 28. And the story goes back to the time of the ancient Egyptians and the time of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. There was a man called Qarun. This is at the very end of the surah. It starts from verse 76. Qarun was a very rich man. He was from the people of Pharaoh, of Musa. He was from Bani Israel. He was so rich. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes his wealth. That if you have a gang of very strong men, they will not be able to carry the keys of his treasures. So imagine what he had in his treasures at a time when Egypt was well known for gold and silver and all these precious things. He used to parade among his people. He used to go out and hear the feelings of the poor people in Egypt, the Egyptians and Bani Israel. And he betrayed Musa, and he betrayed Bani Israel, and he had an alliance with the Pharaoh, who was the enemy of Allah and the enemy of Bani Israel. Can you imagine? His main aim in life was to show off. He used to parade in the streets of Egypt, bringing all his treasures in his glitter, and the people used to gather along the side of the roads to admire his wealth. And one day, those who only had interest in this life said, ya layta lana mithla ma utiya Qarun. We wish if you had the same wealth like Qarun. But those who believed in the hereafter said, don't say that. And he looked at Qarun and they said to him, do not use your wealth to corrupt people and do not show off. Use your wealth to attain the hereafter, your abode in the hereafter, and do not forget about your legitimate rights in this life. Don't be miser and stingy. Don't use your wealth to spread mischief. Use it to benefit yourself, your immediate family, and the rest of the community. Do not hoard your wealth. Do not use it to show off. You know what he said to them? This wealth is due to my knowledge. I have tremendous knowledge in making wealth, and that's how I have done it. Nothing to do with God. Don't bring God into the equation. Nothing to do with him. It's my wealth, I made it. You know what happened to him? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the earth, swallowed him, all of his treasures, all of his wealth, including him and his house. فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْضِ. Khasf in Arabic, when the earth opens and the swallow up, sucks him in, sucked him in, pulled him down. His treasures, his house, and himself. And there's a big lake in Egypt called Buhayrat Qarun, Lake Qarun, 80 kilometers to the southwest of Egypt. Huge lake, salty lake, in the middle of the desert. That's where Qarun was buried. So people realized, my goodness, look what happened. We shouldn't have wished for the glitter of this life. What we should have wished for was the hereafter. But the verse clearly says, وَابْتَغِ فِيمَا. This is very important to all of us. Verse 77, chapter 28, Al-Qasr, the narration. وَابْتَغِ فِيمَا آتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ وَلَا تَبْغِ الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. Seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed on you the home of the hereafter. But don't forget your share, your legitimate rights in this life. Because in Islam, we believe in life before death as well as life after death. This is very important. Don't say only we are Muslim, we only believe in the life after. No, we also believe in this life. That's why the Prophet ﷺ used to say, اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا من كل خير واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. Oh Allah, make us live as long as we can increase our share of goodness in this life, and make us die as long as death is going to stop evil from happening to us. And that's why people pray, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. Oh Allah, give us goodness in this life and in the hereafter. So we must not neglect our needs in this life. But when we do it, do not do it to show off. Nobody is stopping you from becoming rich. Islam does not stop you. Because when you become rich, you are going to know the rights of the poor and the needy. When you are rich, you will pay your zakah. When you are rich, you will support good causes. But when you become rich to show off, to hurt the feelings of other people, no. I'm not interested in that. That's why, there is no, you can wear the best clothes. The Sahaba said to the Prophet ﷺ, we would like to wear good clothes and we would like to wear good shoes. Yes, as long as you don't do it to hurt the feelings of other people. Just as simple as that. You remember many years ago, the brand names used to be inside the garment. Now they are all outside, yes? Everything is because we are showing off. It's meant to show off. It doesn't matter. As long as you're inside, your internal feeling is not evil, you wear whatever you want to wear. No problem. Enjoy yourself. But do not forget the rights and the dues of the poor and the needy. So, the other story is in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18. Al-Kahf is the cave. And you know the story of the companions of the cave. There is an argument between two old friends. Two people met after many years. One was so rich and one was so poor. They went to the same school, maybe, and one decided to go in this line of business and work in they become a trader or hedge fund, whatever they call it. And the other one was very basic. He's a very simple person. And they met. The rich one said to the poor one, by the way, and one was righteous. The poor man was so righteous and the other one so arrogant. Wealth made him into a very arrogant person. He said to him, you know, I'm much better than you, by the way. I have more wealth and more children. أكثر منك مالا وولدا. I have more money, more wealth, and I have also more children. You are nothing. You are nothing. What about your religion or your prayer? Nothing. وَدَخَلَ جَنَّتَهُ وَهُوَ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. Now let me tell you what wealth Allah gave him. Beautiful description. Beautiful. He gave him 2 gardens. In Arabic, the word Jannah. In Arabic, the word Jannah is حديقة or garden. وَدَخَلَ Jannah. So there are 2 types of Jannah. Jannatul Khuld, the gardens of bliss and eternity. This is inshallah on the day of judgment, when we will all pray to Allah that He will forgive our sins and He will admit all of us there, inshallah. And Jannah is an ordinary farm or a garden. Beautiful. What sort of plants or fish he had there? Allah tells us that they were mainly vineyard. He was growing grapes. Maybe he was making wine, I don't know. But he had grapes. And the 2 gardens were surrounded by palm trees. How beautiful it is. Imagine all the boundaries were palm trees, and you can look at the dates, at the produce, and beautiful. And then inside he had a vineyard, and in the middle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a river to flow. There was a flowing river in the middle of the 2 gardens, and in the space there was vegetables, vegetation. What a beautiful thing. So he was so proud of his garden. And he walked in and he said, by the way, my dear friend, who pray 5 times a day and he fasts Ramadan and pay his zakah, I'm much better than you, believe me. I don't think this garden will ever perish. I don't think so. I don't believe so. Because I'm so knowledgeable in agriculture. And by the way, if there is really going to be a hereafter, I'm sure God will give me something better. Very arrogant. Very arrogant. So his friend said to him, and I must read what he said because so beautiful. قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره. And by the way, he said, I never think the hereafter will happen. So even if it happens, my Lord will give me something better. So he denied the hereafter. He denied God. He denied everything. قال له صاحبه ويحاوره. And I like the word صاحبه, companion. It didn't matter that he was evil or he is good. His companion. أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا. Are you denying the one who created you from dust, then from sperm, then he made you a man, he fashioned you as a man? Anyway, he is my Lord and I cannot associate any partners with him in any form. However, if you would have entered your garden saying, ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. It's very highly recommended that every time you see something good, you say this. You walk into your house, you say, ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. Something good which pleases your eye, you say, ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. ما شاء الله, whatever Allah wills will happen. لا قوة إلا بالله. Like when you say, لا حول ولا قوة. There is no power, there is no might except from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe Allah will give me something better than yours. Or maybe Allah will send something from heaven which will burn down your garden completely. And not only that, the water, the river you can see there, will disappear in the earth and go so deep. So you will never be able to get water back to irrigate your garden. No way. وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ. So the curse came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He lost everything in no time. In a second, the whole thing disappeared. The garden, the river, there was nothing there. فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى مَا أَنْفَقَ. In Arabic, this symbol, when you do this, means hasra, means, my goodness, regret. It's a symbol of regret. What did he say? وَيَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُشْرِكْ بِرَبِّي أَحَدًا. I wish I did not associate anyone with my Lord. He had no one to support him. He had no one to help him. He had no one to give him victory. And he was not able to deliver himself. That was because of arrogance. Remember, please, Enjoy your legitimate rights in this life, but do not be arrogant. Don't be arrogant because of your knowledge. Don't be arrogant because of your wealth. Don't be arrogant because of your skills. Don't be arrogant. Be humble. The more you realize your size and the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take all these blessings just like that. He can wipe off the whole market just like that. Smoke from a volcano which is dormant. The volcano is dormant, is asleep. Caused the airlines 2 billion pounds losses in 1 week. Just like that. And disturbed the whole world. Just like that. And now the cloud is moving towards the Middle East. And they closed the airports in Morocco. And Israel is going to have problems. Egypt is going to have problems. Why? Because the cloud is moving. It is a dormant. And as my dear brother Dr. Manzoor Memon says all the time, I think the Qiyamah is coming. Yes. If you see all the killings and all the disruptions in the way, yes. There is no good news. So remember, we need to be good. So, number 1, no pride. Please, be humble. Number 2, وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. One of the things we don't control very often is our tongues. The Prophet ﷺ made it very clear. One of the main reasons we will be pushed or thrown on our faces in the hellfire because of this. And Mu'adh asked him, oh Prophet of Allah, is Allah going to... Oh my goodness, he said, Mu'adh, what are you talking about? Is there anything else which will cause us all to go into the hellfire except this? So, you are having a discussion, you have an argument with someone, and he is so aggressive. Allah says, don't be aggressive. Peace. And I will read the beautiful footnote here. Ignorance in a moral sense. It might be even a secular sense. Address, khatabahum, in an aggressive sense. So their humility is shown in 2 ways. To those in real search of knowledge, they give such knowledge as they have and as the recipients can assimilate. You don't say, oh, you are stupid, you are ignorant. You didn't know about that. 2, to those who merely dispute, they don't speak harshly, but they say peace. As much as to say, may it be well with you, may you repent and be better, or may Allah give me peace from such wrangling, or peace and goodbye, let me leave you. But it is very important always to have this peaceful appearance, peaceful behavior, peaceful conduct. We as Muslims, unfortunately, becoming very aggressive now, very aggressive in the way we talk to people. If you don't believe with my madhab, if you don't believe with my way of thinking, you are my enemy. No, you are right and I'm right, and khalas, that's it. Prophet ﷺ did it this way and did it that way. So what? I don't have to force my madhab on you, and you don't have to force yours on me. We have to accept each other as we are, as long as we are not doing something wrong. There are certain things in Islam which are 100% haram. There's no doubt. And there are certain things which are gray. We don't know. One madhab says you can do it, one madhab says you can't do it. The choice is yours, and that's it. I don't have to kill you to accept it. Could you please move forward? Yes, please. Please move one row forward, please. All of you. You know the Japanese in the office every day, what they do, they stand up and they exercise. So I would expect you to move forward, all of you, and create a row in the back. Come on, everybody, quickly. Please. More reward here. Another quality, وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. Yabit means to spend the night. Sujadan, performing sujud, qiyaman, standing up. What does it mean? They pray during the night. Prayer of humility. Prayer of submission. Giving thanks. A time when everybody is asleep. And this is the best time to pray. Prophet ﷺ said, Afshu salam. spread peace among yourselves. Salamu alaykum, salamu alaykum. Peace, peace, peace. وأطعموا الطعام, and feed people. وصلوا والناس والنيام, and pray while people are asleep. تدخلون الجنة بسلام. You will enter paradise with peace. It is a time when nobody is going to interrupt you. I'm going to refer to some verses in Surah Al-Isra, verses 79. ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا. And as for the night, keep awake a part of it as an additional prayer for you. The message was for Muhammad ﷺ, but it's also for us. Soon will your Lord raise you to a station of praise and glory. And in Surah Al-Dhariyat, chapter 51, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كانوا قليلا من الليل ما يهجعون وبالأسحار هم يستغفرون. Verses 17 to 18. They were in the habit of sleeping but little by night, and in the hours of early dawn they were found praying for forgiveness. And in Surah Az-Zumar, chapter, Az-Zumar means groups, chapter 39, أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة ويرجو رحمة ربه قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون. No, إنما يتذكر الألباب. Is one who worships devoutly during the hours of the night, prostrating himself or standing in adoration, who takes heed of the hereafter, and who places his hope in the mercy of his Lord, like one who does not say. Are those equal? Those who know and those who do not know? It is those who are endued with understanding that receive admonition. In Surah As-Sajdah, تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع يدعون ربهم. This is beautiful. I must explain the exact meanings of تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع. Chapter 32, verse 16. Jamb is your side. When we normally sleep, we sleep on our sides. And this person, he doesn't feel the comfort of his bed, of his sleep. He's very irritable. He wants to get up and pray. So they forsake their beds of sleep, the while they call on their Lord in fear and hope, and they spend in charity out of the sustenance which we have bestowed on them. Men and women, breathless with adoration, shun soft, comfortable beds and luxurious sleep. Their limbs are better exercised in offices of devotion and prayer, especially by night. It's beautiful. تتجافى جنوبهم. There are people who would wake up for Fajr without an alarm, and they will hear the angels knocking at their door. And they wake up for Fajr every day. Every day. In the same way the birds would do this every day. During this time of the year, and especially when the summer approaches, you will find that the Fajr is very early, maybe at 3:30 in the morning. And then the Isha time might be 11:30 in the evening. You are allowed to join Maghrib and the Isha as early as you can and go to bed, because you have to wake up for your Fajr, and then maybe you go back to sleep, of course, and then you get up 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock to go back to your work. So you are allowed. So use this flexibility, use this concession which the Prophet ﷺ practiced in Medina at a time when there was no need for it. And when Ibn Abbas was asked, why did he join the prayers when there was no need? Ibn Abbas said, لكي لا يحرج أمته, in order not to put any hardship on his ummah. He knew, alayhi salatu wasalam, that we will come and live at this part of the world, northwest of Europe, when the sunset will be at 10 o'clock, and the Isha will be at 12 o'clock, and the Fajr at 3 o'clock, and you can't. You are allowed to join Maghrib and the Isha early, so that you can wake up for your Fajr and you don't miss your Salah. I'm going to stop here. Can we have the collection, please? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. Thank you very much for listening.